What's going on, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. As you can tell by the title, basically, what issues are people voting for? You know, the debate is coming on. I ain't really gonna watch it because I think it's stupid. You know, because of this reason specifically. Now, currently, I'm looking at Pew Research Center, U.S. Politics and Policy, August 13th, 2020. You know, it says election 2020, voters are highly engaged, but nearly half expect to have difficulties voting. So, what are the top issues, right? So, they're going by percent of registered voters. The percentage of registered voters saying each is very important to their vote in the 2020 presidential election. I think all of this is BS, but I'm going to run it. The number one issue is the economy. 79% people say they're voting for, on the economy. What's up, Mr. Elmore? Healthcare. 68% say they're voting because healthcare is important. Third, Supreme Court appointments. With Ruth Bader Ginsburg just dying, it's that didn't happen when this research came out though. 64%. Number four, the coronavirus. What's up, Unconventional? The coronavirus, 62%. Number five, violent crime, 59%. Number six, wait, two, three, four. Yeah. Number six, foreign policy, 57%. Number seven, gun policy, 55%. Number eight, race and ethnic inequality, 52%. Number nine, immigration, 52%. Number 10, economic inequality, 47%. Number 11, climate change, 42%. And number 12, abortion at 40%. Now, I laid that out in the beginning, so if people come along and they watch it, they'll see. You can go look it up for yourself. I think this is all utter hogwash. Because, first and foremost, people aren't voting because of the economy, because guess what? Nobody has a plan. It's just a feeling. How are we going to fix the economy? I feel like this person will do a better job than that person. This is what people are voting on. You know, Trump's been in there 4 years. I feel like if you give him another 4, he'd be able to do it. He's got a plan. Biden, I guess people are voting. Well, he was in there 8 years currently with Obama as the vice president. If he gets in there, man, maybe he could, you know, get us going in the direction that Obama had. And maybe we could see a quick turn. This is what people are doing. This is what people are voting on. You know, so I'm sitting here cracking up because it's utter BS to me. In time, I'm going to say what I think people really voting on. But healthcare, number two, that's a lie. The vast majority of Americans aren't concerned about their health. The vast majority of this population is overweight or morbidly obese. So how do people care about healthcare? Because they don't even care about their own health. Glorious, what's happening? You know, he's the only where we at. Hilarious. This is where we at though. People saying they voting for healthcare. And I'm no, you're not. No, you're not. Yeah, it's all emotional vote. Uh, To me, how you gonna? You got half of the country. I'm just saying half. You got people who have been fighting to get rid of Obamacare, right? And then you got people who was against it at first, and now they for it because they need health care because of this pandemic. So whatever. So who you gonna vote for? I mean, that you doubt that Trump is gonna be able to take away Obamacare. You know, yeah, exactly, James. People do have insurance and don't even go to the doctor. So this is a sick country. This is why you know people don't want to say other countries have done better with the coronavirus because the vast majority of their population lives a healthier lifestyle than us Americans. But healthcare is what we voting on. Whatever. Supreme Court appointments. Lie. I'm gonna tell you why it's a lie. First and foremost, the vast majority of American society doesn't even keep up with the law like that. You know, and I'm not just talking about my racial group. The vast majority of American society does not keep up with what's going on in the Supreme Court. The vast majority of us aren't even keeping up with what's going on in our local city court system. So, or state court. So to say, it's about the Supreme Court appointments. And here's the thing about the Supreme Court appointments. I know the Supreme Court appointments are stupid for one reason. You've never, these people are super old when you appoint them. It looked like these people are appointing people who 65 already. What good is that? You know, why not, you know, all of the Supreme Courts are beyond elderly age. Not all of them. I think the latest one wasn't. But they had been in there for decades. So, you know, they say it's a lifetime appointment, but not really because they get these people when they old. You know, now Supreme Court's justices seem to live, like rock and roll stars who on drugs, like extremely long. Yeah, I'm gonna get to that ice dream because that's what people are really voting on and for. You know, they voting for the coronavirus. BS. People don't even want to wear masks. People don't even want to social distance. You can't go to a Walmart or a grocery store with somebody, you know, not being all up close to you. They can't even stand 6 feet away because it infringes on their freedom to get in your personal space. So that's definitely not what people are voting for. It's definitely not the coronavirus. I'm gonna vote for really, really, really. It's about to be flu season. Same people who don't go to the doctor are the same people who gonna be, are you gonna be sick in flu season or not? You gonna get a flu shot or not? I don't know what you're gonna do. And I can say this for me personally. I ain't got a flu shot since I was a kid. And I ain't never had the flu. So it's like, why am I gonna get a shot to get the flu? If I'm healthy every freaking year. I don't understand it. No, thank you. And I go to the doctor every year to get checked up. Clean bill of health, you know, a hiccup here and there, but clean bill of health every year. So this is stupid. Do I think people are doing it for the coronavirus? No. The other one, violent crime. I'm voting to keep our streets safe. Shut up. You look, you a lying and the truth ain't in you. Because violent crime is a dog whistle word. See, people, they're voting on violent crime. Violent crime has a racial element because people put race on violent crime. They don't care about white collar crime. They don't care, you know what I'm saying? They don't care about crime that actually affects people's retirement funds. They care about violent crime. And how often are people around violent crime? Not very often, because the people who are so scared of violent crime normally live in the suburbs or rural areas. The neighborhoods you would never go. And the irony of it is, that's the what about Chicago vote. When crime in non areas that black people aren't involved, that's not considered violent crime, even though it's violent. That's hilarious. Then foreign policy. Stop it. Stop it. Stop. Just please stop. We Americans. Let's stop acting like we care about what's going on with foreign policy. We can't even be real about the history in this country. And I ain't even talking about slavery and racism. I'm talking about all the other BS lies that like, Columbus discovering America. Like, but we gonna know what's going on in foreign. Stop, man. Stop. Ask ask somebody who's. You can ask somebody in the military. You can ask somebody, fresh out of college who's not working in political science. Ask somebody who's been working on a job or an entrepreneur about foreign policy. Unless they doing import-export business, they ain't gonna be able to tell you nothing. Oh yeah, foreign policy, yeah, whatever. Gun policy. That's stupid. There are more guns than people in America. What else you need? Seriously. We need to get the guns to get, like there are more guns than people. So, I'm in this house, I'm in my home, and I got more guns than me. You know what I'm saying? It's one person. I got more than one gun. You know what I'm saying? So let's be honest. Gun rights, whatever. To take the guns away, whatever. How you going? Seriously, seriously, this is stupid. This is stupid. Just dumb. Race and ethnic inequality. That's a two-way street. Okay. Now here's the funny part about race and ethnic inequality is 52% people is 52% of the reason why people is an important issue. And immigration is just as important as race and ethnic inequality. That's interesting because wouldn't immigration, you know what? Because when people think about immigration, let's just be honest, they think about Hispanics. They don't think about whites from Europe. They don't think about Asians. You know, they don't even think about Africans or blacks from the Caribbean. They think about Hispanics, particularly Mexicans. They don't think about Middle Easterners when you talk about immigration. But then economic inequality. Hilarious. Now, when you start talking about the economy is your number one issue, but your number 10 issue is economic inequality. I know you full of it. Climate change. You're right. People don't care about climate change. Abortion. You're right. Now, I went down there to say, why particularly, but let me say what these people are really voting on. Economy. Meaning, I want a piece of the American pie. If I'm voting Republican, it's because their programs can get me a big piece of the American pie. If I'm voting Democrats, their programs can give me a big piece of the American pie. So you got people who I would say, you're voting on economy if you're a Republican. It's private sector, right? And if you're a Democrat, you're voting for, public, you know. So, which ironically, the government is hand in hand with both of them, but whatever. So that's what you're voting for. You know, maybe your social programs ain't getting enough money, so I'm voting Democrat. You know, or their policies. I guess I couldn't say minorities because, yeah, I can say minorities because that don't necessarily include black folks. That you can get some more minority money, right? This is the same thing when you brought up the alphabet community. They're voting Democrat, quote unquote, for their economic interest because voting Democrat, their programs are very lenient to the alphabet community to make money. That's what this is about. Healthcare. This is what you voting on. If you work in the health sector, I want all of y'all to get off of this Obamacare so I could charge your behind the arm and the leg for these services. I'm tired of these discounted rates. And then at the same time, then you got people who are on the flip side of that, like, listen, I can't even afford this Obamacare. I can't take these penalties. If I don't get health care, I got to pay the penalty too. If I got to pay tax, what if I got to pay taxes and I got to pay a penalty for this? I don't need this, player. And then you got, you know, people who are voting because, listen, I got pre-existing conditions and I would never get health care because of it. So guess what? I'm going to vote for this health care to stay in place because I might be a dead man or woman if y'all let this stuff go. And this is keeping me alive, and this is keeping me going to the doctor's office. And maybe, I could be morbidly obese and getting a check for that. Who knows? This is what's going on. The Supreme Court appointments, for the people who know anything about that. I want more Republicans or more Democrats. That's what that's about. I'm voting so we can get more Republicans because they think like I do. Oh, or I'm voting so we can get some more Democrats because they think like I do. So hopefully, when these issues in America come up that I found out about on TV because Fox, CNN, MSNBC was talking about it, and I was watching it because I'm so informed. I want somebody who gonna vote yeah and nay like I would think they would because maybe I want to benefit from something like that. That's what that's about. You know. Now I'm voting on the coronavirus. Listen, first and foremost, ain't nobody voting on the coronavirus. Let's just be honest. Don't even act like, oh, I'm voting because of the coronavirus, the pandemic. No, you're not. No, you're not. Cause like I said before, people out here all reckless. Ain't nothing happened to me, so it don't bother me none. That's what's going on. But let me get to the violent crime. This is the consummate all lives matter versus Black Lives Matter vote. There was a racial incident, and because there's a racial incident, I told you this country was, unjust. So guess what? We gonna protest. Some of the protests turned into riots. So now you got people like, see, this is the country we need. I'm gonna vote for people who are protest. And some people will feel like if you're voting pro protest, you're voting pro riot because then you're having people on the flip side like, listen, I don't want my community or any neighborhood that I'm in to have a protest or a riot break out and they burn down things and take this and take that. What's up, Lee? What's up, Dion? Miko, what's popping? He said, you forgot it was a thing. That's hilarious. You know, I'm going to, I don't want that to happen in my neighborhood. So I'm going to vote to make sure this doesn't happen in my neighborhood. First and foremost, protests and riots only happen in the neighborhoods and the areas that, you know, whatever the incident was. So, you know, so that goes for both sides. If it didn't happen in your city, you just reaching. That's all that is. You concerned about, that you're a liar. And the reason I'm saying that as violent crime is because it was put out as violent crime. And, you know, the comply and if this happened, they deserved it. You know, it's going to be a pro police vote on one side, a pro citizen vote on the other side. This type of thing. So now I got to get to the foreign policy lie. Okay, if you vote in foreign policy in America, what that means is, let me see how I can put this. I'm an American who's voting. I don't like no other group country other than America. So whatever screws any other country, I'm for it. I'm voting for that. And then you got somebody voting on uh, globalization or global economics. You know, we can make money globally. You know, uh, we can get their products for cheap and sell it for high. You know, so we can make some money off of that. So that's the closest to foreign policy you gonna get. That's it. Nobody cares about, people talk all that, they were pro China, anti people who are anti China were so full of it, anti the coronavirus. Your mask is made in China. You so anti China, you might want to get a mask made in the USA. So I know that's some BS right there. Most of your products you buy made in China. Everything you got from Walmart made in China. Target, China. Hell, so it's like, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Now the gun thing, the gun vote is always tricky because for the most part, the gun thing is everybody can get a gun in America for the most part. The only states who really got gun issues, truth be told, are California, New York, and Illinois. Yeah, exactly, Greg. Those are the only real three states that have gun issues like that, because the gun laws are so strict. You know, you can't. And I have a license, but and my license has, because being in Texas, Texas has reciprocity with the majority of the United States, but California, New York, and I believe Illinois, no. So the gun issue is one of those things where if you don't live in them three states, it ain't really a problem. And truth be told, New York, California, and Illinois got a gang of guns. So, you know, that's what it is. So you might have a gun issue in your but they don't have no gun issues in their states because everybody packing. So, if you don't want to buy a gun, that's your problem. If you do want to buy a gun, that's your problem. So that's what people are voting on. Normally to get reciprocity. And most people don't care. You know, most people don't care about reciprocity because most people aren't taking their guns from one state to the next. You know, and when I think about reciprocity, I don't know if I'm 100% sure of this, but remember the guy who was in Vegas who shot up the concert? I don't think he was from Nevada. I could be wrong though. But that's, what I mean by reciprocity. You could just, if you legal in one state, you could, you know, be be legal and all that. Now, the racial and ethnic inequality. Listen, nobody in America cares about racial inequality. That's not, or ethnic inequality when it's not happening to them. And what I mean by that is you're going to have people voting one party as if this party is going to keep the racial and ethnic inequality going, and then you're going to have another party voting as like, if I vote this way, it's going to help with the racial and ethnic inequality. And truth be told, racial and ethnic inequality now is basically women's issues and alphabet issues. They don't even care about race, because if men come into play, nobody cares. If black men come into play, it's not, nobody cares. You know what I'm saying? It's about women and the alphabets. That's it. Anything that benefits black men is not, nobody's trying to do that. Immigration was very interesting. You know, I think people are voting to keep people illegal immigrants in the sense of they're not legally on the book, so they always got to take under the table money. So you could kind of, they could, that's illegal immigration is basically, you know low wage, a low wage slavery. You know, all right, thanks. I didn't know that about South Carolina, because if you're not really a legal citizen, you got to take everything cash, and people can pay you what they want to pay you. So, and that's a good service to a person who wants to use somebody. You know, so you want that aspect of it, so you'll vote for that. To keep immigrants illegal as long as possible, and then you'll vote for immigration because you want um you want more people coming who are illegal to be legalized. You know, amnesty. But the interesting thing about that is, it seems to me that people worried about voter fraud, and they was talking about black people. Nobody asked a question about how many illegal immigrants voted. You know, right? Exactly. But even with that, it's funny how race and ethnic inequality and immigration are technically separate things. Immigration shouldn't even be an issue if you really want to be honest, because when we talk about immigration, they talk about illegal immigration. When is it you're gonna you know? But this is the hypocrisy of America. It's just hypocrisy. Ethnic inequality, please. You're voting to keep benefits, your way, or if it's not just ethnic inequality, or ethnic economic inequality is what I was trying to say. You know, excuse me, economic inequality was what I was talking about. Who believes that rich people are trying to make it fair and equal? Nobody. So rich people have already, you know, paid their senators, their representatives, their judges. You know, they've got their super PACs. Do the middle class and the poor have super PACs? No, no, they don't. No, we don't. Okay, So let's get it to the equality is gonna stay because the very same politicians you voting for, both sides got paid already. So the rich are gonna be in a winning position regardless. I don't get how people seem to forget that, but that's what it is. Climate change, like I said, yeah, right. Yeah, right. People don't care about something happening until there's a hurricane, an earthquake, a flood, or tornado. That's when we care about climate, or you know when they start running out of food. You know when the fish run, start dying out and you can't eat enough. Yeah, exactly, American. It don't make no sense. So what are these people voting for? Now let's get to the other things that they're actually voting for. Chef, what's popping? I'm voting. You got. I'm not gonna say I'm voting for my suburban interest. You're voting for your city interests. You know, that's boy. What you know about the chicken sandwiches, y'all? That's what people are voting for. It's the suburbs. Let me say this. It's gonna be the rural areas and the suburbs versus the white women. It's gonna be feminine. I take that back. It's gonna be white women versus the sisterhood again. So when the women vote, we're women. Y'all did us dirty last time. We thought y'all was gonna vote for Hillary, but you voted for Trump. We're women. We're sticking together. No, 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 no. You finna find out again. You know, white women may have a separate agenda than the sisterhood. Even in the black community, the voting is gonna be different. The black men is gonna vote for something. Black women gonna vote for something. Gonna be completely different. That's what people voting on. You know what? I want the world to look this way because it benefits me. That's what people actually out here gonna be voting on. It was they went down to 50. It went down to 56%, but initially it was like I want to say 60. I want to say it was 60, but they kept downing it and downing it and downing it. I was like, whatever. But that's what people gonna vote on. People are voting on heterosexuality versus homosexuality. That's what people gonna be voting on. That's just what it's gonna be. Nobody wants to, we ain't got to tiptoe around the subject. Let's just get right to it. This is what people actually voting on. You know, you're gonna have racism versus reparations. That's what people gonna be voting on. You're gonna have Hispanics against blacks. That's what's gonna be voting on. See, people forget, you know, that Hispanics normally on their birth certificate says white because Hispanic ain't a race. So you have that also. You know, the strippers. Yeah, exactly, Albert. You're hilarious. You know, you're gonna have, of course, conservative versus liberal. That's what people gonna vote on. I'm conservative. I'm a liberal. I'm gonna vote because I'm a conservative. I'm a liberal. That's what they're gonna actually vote on. Uh, we're gonna have, I'm voting this way because I don't want to lose the country, and you're gonna have, I'm voting this way because I want the country to change, Or I take it back. I'm voting this way because I want the country to stay the way it is. I'm voting this way because I want the country to change. That's what people are gonna be voting on. You know, there ain't gonna be equal opportunity. That ain't finna happen. You know, some people gonna be voting on, I want to politically correct America. I want to politically incorrect America. So that's what I'm voting on. You know, you gonna have people voting because I feel this is the winning team and I just want to ride with a winner. You know, and I feel like this is the underdog and I'm gonna ride with the underdog. You know, this is what it is. This person represents my beliefs. That's what I'm voting on. This person represents my beliefs. That's what I'm voting on. So a lot of this stuff, like you said earlier, is all emotional because the issues aren't really issues because nobody really digs into the issues. Because think about it's about to be October. The election day is November 3rd or 4th. And most people, most Americans don't know what issue is what issue. Let's just be honest. You know, don't be surprised, you know, because going back to the pandemic, you got parents who are tired of having their kids in the house, and you got parents who want their kids to go back to school. Which politician is going to be in that favor? Nobody really, nobody can really say. Nobody can really say. So now we playing this game where what am I gonna, I'm voting for my interests. You know, listen, people vote against their economic interests all the time. That's why I know the economy thing is BS. You know, the Southern strategy was in a sense vote against your economic interests. You know, because of racism, basically. So it's like, it was one of the facets of it. I'm not gonna. It wasn't the whole exact thing, but it was a good part of it. So people don't care about the economy like they say they do. Nobody, what about taxes? Anybody care about taxes anymore? No. That's very, it was calling, whatever. It's very interesting because we don't bring up taxes anymore. Tax, how can the middle class get tax breaks? See, the middle class actually gets proportionately crushed by taxes more than rich people. And poor people don't really pay taxes like that. So, and with the country in this quote unquote, to me, we've been in depression for what, since uh when was Bush in office? Almost 15 years. A recession. This country has been in a deficit over a decade. So, it is what it is. Nobody's voting on that. Nobody cares because when people think the country is in debt and broke, people don't look. Most Americans, you know, are in debt in some way, shape, form, or fashion. Whether it's a home, a car, student loans, or credit cards, or